What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Psych Saturday here at Human Integrated Performance. My name is Tyson, and today what we're going to be talking about for Sports Psych Saturday is goal setting. So goal setting is a topic that you've probably heard many times discussed by many different people, whether it be coaches, parents, other sports psychologists alike. Goal setting is a huge part of sport, and it needs to be addressed a little bit more in depth. So with goal setting, you've probably heard a lot about setting smart goals, setting goals that are attainable, setting different goals for the season for both your team, personal. It can be a little bit hard to manage in terms of what goals should I actually set, how do I achieve my goals, and how do I make it so that if I don't achieve my goals, I don't feel like I've failed. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down the way we do goal setting here at the clinic and give you a little bit of motivation in towards how to set your own goals and make sure that the goals that you are setting are leading you in the direction that you want your athletics to take you. So when it comes to goal setting, what we're going to focus on today is we're going to focus on 3 different types of goals. So with that, the first one we're going to talk about is outcome goals. Outcome goals, you've probably heard from everyone. The outcome or the result of your season, your game, is the goal. So a good example of that is winning a championship. That a lot of teams set out and they want to have their goal for the season being the top team winning the championship, whether it be league, provincial, national, what have you. They want to make sure that they're the ones holding the trophy at the end of the season. So that's a great goal to have, and it really guides their motivation for the season. However, only having that goal isn't quite good enough, because with that goal we have no real semblance of is if I made it or if I not. It's quite black and white of either I won or I lost. So that's not exactly encompassing the whole season. Well, on top of that, we want to have process and performance goals. So these two are a little bit more important outside of just solely the outcome, because the performance is what builds to the outcome, and then the process underneath is what builds the performance to build to the outcome. So what we're saying in that is performance goals are a little bit more based on a game by game or an event based process. So as we're going through our goals, we're setting these goals for not only for the season, but for games. So we want to do well during our games. So we want to win the game. We want to perform a certain way in our events. And then lastly, on top of that, we have our process goals. So the process is the most important part. We actually want to set 3 times as many process goals as we do performance and outcome goals, because without those process goals guiding us and having our motivation moving in the correct direction that we want it to, we're not actually going to be able to achieve the performance or outcome goals that we've set. So an example of this is going to be for a hockey player. I want to score, if their outcome goal is I want to score 50 goals in a season. How are they going to score 50 goals in the season if they just say that's my goal? They're not going to. In order to get to that goal, they need to set some process goals for themselves on how to improve the skill of shooting and scoring in order to get up to that level that they want to score 50 goals. So a process goal for a hockey player who wants to score a lot of goals might be practicing their shot on a daily basis. So they set a goal of I want to shoot 50 pucks a day at the beginning of the season in order to build up my shot, make myself stronger, and move to be able to score goals. Another process goal in the same for a hockey player again might be wanting to build up their strength. So they have a good shot, but they're not able to find the space to use it. They want to be able to gain some weight, get stronger. So a process goal for them might be I'm going to hit the gym 4 times a week instead of 2 times a week. As you can see, the process goals are the things that we're going to do on a daily basis or a weekly basis that helps us build towards that outcome goal. And one analogy that I've heard used when it comes to goal setting is the use of a ladder and something that's up in a tree. So let's say, for example, your outcome goal is stuck way up high above, and you look at it and you think, wow, that's going to be tough to get to. How can I get to it? And when we think about it as a ladder, so if we're almost like we're building our own ladder. So we've got the 2 sides of our ladder. Those will kind of be more of our performance goals. And then we have our rungs. So each rung is going to be a process goal. So without those process goals, we can't actually build that ladder to get up. But as we push those process goals together with the rungs and the sides and help build ourselves up, we're going to help reach higher and higher and higher before we're eventually able to reach towards that goal. Now, we may not always reach that goal because that, like we've talked about, that outcome goal is sometimes a little bit out of our control. There's things that are going to be happening along the way. We have to take into account opponents, injuries, things like that. So we may not actually reach our goal at the end of the season, and that's okay. But the important part is, like we've emphasized all the way through, the process to get there is what's most important. Because even if we fall and even if we fail, we've built that ladder up. So no matter what that goal is, we already have a starting place for our next goal. So if we miss out on one opportunity, we're able to change our motivation, set it in a different direction, and use those skills that we've already built up and are able to make sure that we're going to help strive towards each goal. And when we're going to use those ladders as a base, we're going to continue to build off it and strive to get to greater heights each and every time. So I hope this makes sense to you, and even if it doesn't, drop a comment down below and we can elaborate a little bit further. And as well, we also have a couple more videos that we've talked about on goal setting that we will also be posting as well. So if you have any questions at all, be sure to reference towards those. And like always, we'll see you next week.